Welcome back into Lemoy Field for Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Wilmington Wildcats and your Post-University Eagles. Well, that was quick, everybody. Only a short break, and we're back in for a fresh new 7 innings of softball. We'll get you the starting lineup for the Wilmington Wildcats in just a moment, but right now, it looks like everybody's ready. Devin Barnett is ready. Tristan Stewart is ready. And the first pitch of Game 2, a strike right at the knees, and we're underway. Make it 0-1 to Tristan Stewart. So Devin Barnett, the southpaw out of National Park, New Jersey, on the mound for the Eagles, starting off game numero dos. Lefty on lefty matchup to kick off this game, and the second pitch in moves to 1-1. So for Devin Barnett this year, she's worked her way through 4 starts. She's on an 0-4 record and a startling 17.9 ERA. See if that continues to be the case throughout this year, trying to bring that down. First pitch, ground ball, line drive off the third baseman, then off the shortstop, and it's going to go down as an infield signal for Tristan Stewart. So Tristan Stewart, by the way, who had a tremendous game, went 2 for 3 in Game 1, starts this game off with a single her own. So 3 hits on the day for Stewart, and it brings us up to Maddie Volmar. Volmar entered today with a .390 batting average, tied for the best on the team. Runner goes, the pitch in for a strike, but it looked like behind the plate, Brianna Hines just had trouble with it. It's going to go as a stolen base for Tristan Stewart. So runner in scoring position right off the start of this game. Nobody gone. For Stewart, that's her 14th, her team-leading 14th stolen base of the season. Big wave and a miss at an off-speed pitch there. It's going to be an 0-2 count here to Maddie Volmar. Devin Barnett on the mound. Lefty on righty matchup, the 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Fooled him with a changeup. That's a big strikeout of one of the conference's best in Maddie Volmar. First K of the game for Devin Barnett. And with 1 away, it brings up Eve Serrato. Serrato, she was batting 5th in the Game 1 lineup, now hitting 3rd in today's. First pitch into her, left upstairs, a little bit of chin music that time, and it goes to 1-0. Serrato, the senior out of Ohio, transferred over from Monmouth University. Fouls one back, and it moves to 1-1. Entered today hitting .263. 15 hits, 4 doubles, and 2 home runs for 16 RBIs. Went 2 for 3 in Game 1, was pinch hit for in the 7th inning. Hit a home run for an RBI, her 3rd home run of the year. Ground ball to the left side, right to the shortstop. She fires to first in time. So the runner does move up to third base on the fielder's choice. But a really good play from Brooke Dickinson that time to get out number 2. Play goes 6-3. And now Bella Barnes comes up to the plate. 1 run only 90 feet away from scoring, but 2 men gone here in the first. Barnes, the right fielder. Lefty on righty, and the first pitch in. Ground ball, right back to Dickinson. This should get her out of the inning. Throw to first, bobbled in time and recovered by the first baseman. Oh, what a nice play that time from Bailey Dickinson. The sister-to-sister connection works out to perfection, and it's a scoreless first inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. It's 0-0 heading to the bottom half of the frame here on Post University Softball. Back in here at Lemoy Field, scoreless top half of the frame. Now we enter the bottom of the first inning. And today for the Eagles, they'll be going up against Kylie Gunkel, right-handed senior out of Highland, Maryland at 5'7". This year, through 13 appearances and 11 starts, she's got a 4.10 ERA. 39 strikeouts and 27 walks for Gunkel so far this year. Looks like she's having a bit of an equipment malfunction, has to run back to the dugout for a quick second. Gives me an opportunity to introduce the starting lineup for the Eagles. It's the same exact lineup as in Game 1, just a little bit of a different defensive alignment. It's Isabella Oliver leading us off, then Alexandra Biseglia batting second. Alyssa Calabrese in the 3-hole, Bailey Dickinson batting cleanup. Nyla Sapia, she's at the hot corner batting fifth. Brooke Dickinson batting sixth. Angelica Tompkins, she's playing second base this time around. She's batting seventh. Brianna Hins behind the plate batting eighth. And rounding out the lineup for the Eagles, it's Hannah Searles as your designated player. Gunkel's still getting ready out on the mound this year. She's tied for fifth in the conference with wins this year, with 5 of them on the team. Be her 12th start of the season. The 5'7" right-hander out of Highland, Maryland, and Reservoir High School deals a strike to Isabella Oliver to start off her night. Oliver entering today with a 185 batting average so far this season and quickly falls behind 0-2, but did extend her hit streak to 4 games with the only base hit for the Eagles in Game 1. Overall, she went 1 for 3 earlier today. Skies one in the infield right to the second baseman Giro, and she makes the catch, 1 away. 1 up and 1 down to begin Kylie Gunkel's night. It brings us to Alexandra Biseglia. Another righty-on-righty matchup here for Gunkel. First pitch in. Right on the outside corner for strike one. Biseglia, a 125 hitter entering today. 48 at-bats, 6 hits, 2 of which are doubles. Swings and misses to go 0-2. Game 1, she went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts swinging. In danger of the golden sombrero through 2 games so far. The 0-2. Up and in, 1-2.
Yeah, I'm saying by 6 at the latest. Not a little, probably a little earlier.
Looking for her first strikeout of the game, and she gets it. Does Kylie Gunkel, a strikeout swinging on a high fastball up in the zone. Now 2 away here in the first. Alyssa Calabrese, the 3-hole hitter, trying to prevent it from being a 1-2-3 inning here in the first. A 283 hitter on the season. Entering Game 1 at least was Calabrese, but she takes a strike to go 0-1. 15 hits on the year, 6 of which went for extra bases. That's a .415 slugging percentage. It's really, really good. Skies one foul and out of play, however, and it goes to 0-2. By my count, Kylie Gunkel has only thrown 1 pitch out of the strike zone so far this inning, so she's filling up that zone. She's got Alyssa Calabrese in an 0-2 count here. Looking for a 1-2-3 frame. Breaking ball just misses upstairs. Goes to 1-2. Wilmington in their green away jerseys with white pants. Goes downstairs once again, 2-2. Eagles back in their home whites with orange lettering and orange trim. Infield shifted a little bit towards the left, facing up against Calabrese. She skies one, shallow right field, and goes foul and out of play. Remains a 2-2 count. Good battle here for as much as Kylie Gunkel has filled up the zone. This will be the 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Nobody on, 2 men gone. It was a pop out and then a strikeout to start off the frame for Gunkel. The 2-2. Fouled off. Good job by Calabrese just to stay alive here. Temperatures dropped below 20 degrees from where we started Game 1. It was 70 degrees when we started Game 1. It's now pretty much at 53. Much colder. And a 2-2, a beautiful breaking ball in there for a called strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Kylie Gunkel to start off her afternoon. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Eagles as we're scoreless heading into the second.
Just to ourselves, it's like.
Back in here for the top of the second inning. Still scoreless between these two teams. So Eagles already off to a bit of a better start than they were in game one. We'll see if they can keep that momentum going. Devin Barnett out on the mound. Only faced one over the minimum in the first frame. And the first pitch in to Sydney Hatch gets skied up in the infield. And the shortstop right there to catch it is Brooke Dickinson. One away. One pitch and one out for Devin Barnett to start off this frame. And Barnett, who came into this game with a 17.9 ERA, off to a very good start against one of the higher-powered offenses in the CACC. He's going to face up against Cassidy Zolano next. Zolano, a middle infielder, playing shortstop today. Squares around, but looked like she flat out just missed it that time, and it goes to 0-1. Coming into today with a .301 batting average is Zolano. Went 2 for 4 in our first game. Knocked in an RBI and a double as well. So that batting average only going up entering game two. Grounds one right to the second baseman this time around. Tompkins fields and fires. So 2 away quickly here for the Eagles. And how about this? Excuse me, they bobbled it. I apologize. I was already looking down at my scorebook by the time that happened. Ends up being an error and an E4. So runner on first and only one man gone. And now a hard line drive just over the reach of Devin Barnett. Going to be runners on first and second. Inning goes from bad to worse here. It looked like just a second ago it's going to be no men on and 2 men gone, but now all of a sudden 2 runners on and 1 man gone. So runners in scoring position, only 1 out, still scoreless. Now coming up to the plate, it's going to be Haley Grigo. So Gracie Mabry, it was Grigo who just knocked in that single, and Mabry squares around, pulls it back, takes ball 1. Devin Barnett moving fairly quick so far in this game. Well, she slows it down here. The 1-0 into Gracie Mabry. Righty on lefty matchup. Goes to 2-0 now. Mabry over in game 1. Didn't get a base hit, but did reach twice, once on an error, the other on a walk. Overall, she went 0 for 2 in that game. Opportunity for some runners in scoring position here. Count goes to 3-0 on her. Rain starting to come down here in Waterbury. I can't believe it. Took a look at the weather before we got here today, and it was a beautiful 70-degree day and cloudy, raining. And a 4-pitch walk dealt from Barnett to Gracie Mabry here. Rain could be affecting some of that control as well. So really quickly, all of a sudden, it's bases loaded and 1 man gone. Started with a first pitch pop out to Sydney Hatch. Then Cassidy Zolano reached on the error from Angelica Tompkins, a single and a walk, and All of a sudden, a great opportunity here for the Wildcats. Squaring around is Emma Zimmerman, pulling it back and swinging away, but she fouls it off right into the glove of the first baseman, Bailey Dickinson, and that's a huge out number 2 for Devin Barnett on the mound. Back to the top of the order for the second time in as many innings, and Tristan Stewart comes up to the plate. Stewart reached on an infield single and actually stole a base her first time around. Bases loaded, 2 men gone, the first pitch in there, first strike. Count goes to 0-1. Interested to see how Barnett can hang on to the softball here. Control tends to slip a lot in the rainy conditions like this. The 0-1 delivery right at the knees, but ruled just a bit below the knees from home plate umpire Michael Vischio, and it goes to 1-1 now. Umpires in today's game, it's Michael Vischio behind the plate this time, while Guillermo Riva is in the field right between second and third base. Good pitch there, it looked like from Barnett, but it missed up and outside. 2-1 count. Stewart already with a base hit today. Didn't get an RBI, but scored 3 runs in game 1. Skies one, shallow left field, foul territory, and no one's going to be able to get there. Evens the count up at 2-2. A 0-0 game, and the Eagles trying to strand 3 runners on the base paths here. Top of the second inning, bases loaded, 2 gone. The 2-2 delivery. Line drive, center field, racing over Oliver, and she makes the catch. And how about that? Devin Barnett with a magic trick, getting out of a bases-loaded jam to keep the game scoreless. It's 0-0, and the Eagles coming up to bat. Back in here for the bottom half of the second frame. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Kylie Gunkel in her first time around, now facing off against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Eagles. Starting off with the cleanup hitter, it's going to be Bailey Dickinson stepping up to the plate. Righty-on-righty matchup to kick off this second inning of work. First pitch in, a fastball misses up and outside the strike zone and goes to 1-0. So for Bailey Dickinson, entering today with a .271 batting average. It's going to go a little bit farther down after most of the players on post went 0 for in game 1. For Dickinson, she did go 0 for 1, but was able to reach twice on a couple of walks. Next offering in. Fastball just misses the inside corner. Count goes to 2-1 now. Give you the fielding alignment for the Wildcats in just a quick moment. Big swing and a miss from Dickinson there, 2-2. It's Tristan Stewart in left field, Maddie Volmar in center, and Bella Barnes out patrolling the waters in right field. Gracie Mabry, she's at the hot corner. Cassie Zolano, the shortstop. Haley Giro at second base, and Eve Serrato is your first baseman. Good pitch, just misses the outside corner. Emma Zimmerman behind the plate, battery mates with, of course, Kylie Gunkel, and Zimmerman did a pretty good job framing that one. But it's a full count here to kick off the inning to Bailey Dickinson. And the payoff pitch. Fouled away, we'll do it again. Good job by Dickinson just to stay alive as the rain is really starting to come down here in Waterbury. Shout out to our production crew. Did a tremendous job working really quickly, getting all of our cameras inside. And under a 10 as Bailey Dickinson works a walk. So leadoff runner on. Leadoff walks tend to lead to really bad things for pitchers out on the mound. We'll see if that remains the case here and if the Eagles can take advantage. However, I have a feeling that umpires are going to try to call this game sooner rather than later. So if you're post, you're going to want to take advantage of this opportunity as quickly as you can. Runner on first, nobody gone. Nyla Sapia coming up to the plate. Actually, Sapia, I should say. First pitch comes into her, misses upstairs, 1-0. Sapia entered the first game today with a .234 batting average, .585 OPS as well. Third on the team with 11 hits this year. 1-0 pitch, misses the inside corner, 2-0. Sapia in game one, she went 0 for 3, pop out a fielder's choice and a line out in her 3 at-bats. And a good spot here ahead of the count. Make it 3-0 now. Some control issues for Kylie Gunkel here early in this game. Looks like they're going to give her a glove from the dugout. Maybe that was a towel, I should say. Help her wipe off her hand with some of the rain coming down. Does look like it clears up a little bit to my left, but who knows if that's rain coming towards us or away from us. Now looks like Gunkel's going to change softballs quickly. So it's a runner on first, nobody gone. A 3-0 count to Nyla Sapia here in the second inning. Next pitch in, misses upstairs, ball 4. So back-to-back walks to kick off this top half of the second. Now stepping up to the plate, it's Brooke Dickinson. Look, you got to have a feeling the rain is playing a big factor in these control issues for Kylie Gunkel out on the mound for Wilmington right now. Gunkel this year isn't known for control issues. Only has 27 walks on the season through 56 and a third innings pitched. Squares around and misses upstairs. But it's back-to-back walks and a runner in scoring position for the first time today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the first time today the Eagles have had a runner in scoring position. Now the home plate umpire calls timeout, wants a couple new softballs. So Brooke Dickinson at the plate trying to drive in her sister Bailey Dickinson, who's at second base right now. Brooke, she's hitting 143 throughout this year. Squares around, gets the bunt down, stays in fair territory. The catcher picks it up. Zimmerman throws the first in time, but a good sacrifice bunt for Brooke Dickinson. She does her job. Both the runners move up. And I stand corrected, a foul ball. It happens to the best of us. A little bit of I didn't see the call there from Michael Vischio behind the plate, but it was ruled foul. So it goes to 2-1. Another square around, pulls it back, and now it's 2-1. Big moment here for the Eagles, trying to score their first run between the two games and maybe get a lead for the first time today. Corners are playing in, protecting against the bunt. And she does actually get the bunt down, but it goes foul. Don't see that very often. It looked like she was pulling the bunt back, and she was halfway through pulling it back by the time that the ball made contact with the bat. So it goes to 2-2. Dickinson was 0 for 2 in game, actually 0 for 3 in game one. Couple of hard hit balls to right field. Big pitch, 2-2. Check swing. Did she go around? No, she did not. Say both umpires, and it moves to a full count, 3-2. Boy, Kylie Gunkel in danger of giving up back-to-back-to-back walks to load the bases to lead off the second inning. Can the Eagles do it? The 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Boy, what a pitch from Kylie Gunkel. Fastball up in the strike zone and got Brooke Dickinson to chase it. And that's a big first out of the inning. Third strikeout of the game already for Kylie Gunkel through just 1 1/3 innings pitched. Brings up Angelica Tompkins. First pitch into her, misses up and away, 1-0. Tompkins manning the second base position. She was out in left field in game 1. Coaching staff moving her around a little bit. Pitch right at the chest. Looked like it might have been a bit upstairs, but it found the strike zone. Says home plate umpire Guillermo or Michael Vicio moves to 1-1. Tompkins, a 140 hitter throughout this season. Breaking ball misses just a bit below the zone. You can see Tompkins was tracking that one the entire way, 2-1. Looking to collect RBI number 6 on the year with a base hit. She was late on a fastball that time around, and it goes to 2-2. Good setup that time from Kylie Gunkel out on the mound. Breaking ball. Brought it to 2-1, and then the fastball to bring it to 2-2. Now another fastball, but it runs outside, and it goes to 3-2. Boy, 4 straight batters in a 3-ball count for the Eagles here. The payoff pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again. It's a tough fastball to stay alive with. It's got a lot of velo. You can see a lot of these Eagles hitters are fouling it off down the first base line, meaning they're late on it. Seems like the rain has started to subside here a bit in Waterbury, though. Another payoff, misses down low, and it goes a little bit wild behind the catcher, Emma Zimmerman, but everyone's just going to move up a base. So 3 walks and a strikeout sees us where we're at with the bases loaded and 1 man gone. And it brings up Brianna Hines. Hines with the bases juiced. Manning the catcher position, but we're going to have a mound visit first for Kylie Gunkel before we get to this at-bat. Hines over in game 1. She went 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Coming into this game with a 132 batting average. Crazily enough, coming into game 1 today, Brianna Hines came into this game with the exact same stats that she had on the season last year. That being a 132 batting average, 214 on base percentage, 132 slugging, and 346 OPS. It's not often you see those exact same numbers in both 2024 and 2025, which I'm pretty shocked about personally. Hines, the junior out of Seymour, as the first pitch gets by the catcher Zimmerman, but no movement. Out on third base is Bailey Dickinson, who doesn't have the most speed in the world, so not wanting to test things with the bases loaded and 1 man gone. If you're Kylie Gunkel out on the mound, you're looking for that ground ball double play here to try to get yourself out of the inning without allowing even a single run. If you're at the plate and you're Brianna Hines, you're looking for a fly ball. Next pitch in there, and it evens up the count at 1 apiece. Hines out of Seymour, Connecticut. She's gone 7 games without a hit, looking to change that trend today. Fouls the next one off, 1-2 now. It'll be Hannah Searles on deck in the 9-hole for the Eagles. For post, it's Bailey Dickinson on third, Nyla Sapia on second, and Angelica Tompkins on first. Bases loaded, 1 out, scoreless here in the second. One-two misses in the dirt. Really good stop by Zimmerman behind the plate again. Not sure if you were able to catch it, but over on third base, Bailey Dickinson was definitely getting a bit of a bigger lead after the wild pitch only a few pitches ago. Evens up the count, 2-2. Big delivery here from Gunkel. A little excuse me swing, Bluebirds, a base hit into center field. 1 run scores. Everyone's just going to move up a position. Called an RBI single for Brianna Hines, and the Eagles take their first lead of the day. It's 1-0. How about Brianna Hines with the excuse me check swing in a center field, and it finds some grass? For Hines, it's her second RBI of the season. And the bases are still loaded for Hannah Searles as we have another mound visit. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change, so don't go anywhere. The base is juiced and one away. Hannah Searles coming up to the plate as you're watching Post University Softball. So stepping up to the mound for the Wildcats in an extremely tough spot. It's the 5'8" right-handed freshman out of Old Forge, Pennsylvania. It's Karen Sickle coming up to the mound with the bases loaded and only one man gone. Already out to a 1-0 lead are the Eagles. For Sickle, this will be her 9th appearance of the year. She's out to a 3.89 ERA. She's got a 2-0 record as well as one save. Through 18 innings of work this year, she's given up 10 earned on 19 hits and 7 walks to 6 strikeouts. So sometimes she can have a little bit of that control issue, it seems like. You never want to have more walks than strikeouts. And a pitch-to-contact type of pitcher. So it's Hannah Searles at the plate in the 9-hole. First pitch into her. Ground ball right to the second baseman hero. She tags Searles for one, but no throw otherwise. So out at second base, it's actually going to be Brianna Hines, called a fielder's choice and an RBI, 4 unassisted for Hannah Searles. Another run comes home to score Nyla Sapia, and it's a 2-0 ball game. Job well done that time for Hannah Searles. Just put the ball in play. You're a little bit worried about the possible double play ball, but Haley Grigo just decided not to throw it to first. Looked like she might have had time for the double play ball as well, but go back to the top of the lineup now, and Isabella Oliver steps up to the plate, takes a ball. Oliver 0 for 1, popped out to the second baseman her first time around. Swings and misses at that one. Swings and fouls that one off, makes it 1-1. So it was 2 walks in a row from Kylie Gunkel to start off the frame. Then she got the strikeout, gave up her third walk. An RBI single from Brianna Hines knocked her out of this game. Karen Sickle took over, got the fielder's choice. That's how we got it to a 2-0 game. Oliver fouls it off, and it's 1-2 now on the leadoff hitter. Isabella Oliver entering today with a 185 batting average, but on a 4-game hit streak. Still looking to extend it in this one. If she does extend it, well, she knocks in a run. Ground ball right back up the middle, but right to the shortstop Zolano. Her throw to first in time, and that will retire the side. But for the Eagles in the frame, they grabbed their first lead of the day. 2 runs on 1 base hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. It's 2-0 in favor of the good guys here on Post University Softball. So the Eagles working with their first lead of the day today. It's a 2-0 lead heading into the third inning. Devin Barnett back out on the bump heading into her third inning of work today. She's allowed some base runners on in each of her first two frames, but no harm has come from it. Out to a 2-0 lead, and second time through the order, now facing the two-hole hitter, it's Maddie Volmar. Volmar, 0 for 1, struck out on 3 pitches her first time around. Takes a look at a breaking ball just off the outside corner, and it goes to 1-0. Volmar, she did have a really good first game, went 2 for 4 in that game. A couple of RBIs on a triple, as well as a run scored and a stolen base. Squares around, does not pull it back, and flat out just misses the softball, 1-1. For Barnett, you'd love to see this trend continue. 2 scoreless frames so far today. She's only allowed 2 base hits. Has given up a couple of walks. Has not, or has struck out 1 batter so far. Big wave and a miss that time around, 1-2. Barnett's 1 strikeout so far did come against Maddie Volmar, so she's looking to double that one up. Trying to start off this third inning right. The 1-2 delivery. Misses in the dirt, evens up the count, 2 apiece. Be able to give you the final line on Wilmington starter Kylie Gunkel in just a quick moment. It's going to be a 2-2 count here to Maddie Volmar. Lefty on righty matchup. Southpaw Barnett winds and deals. Grounded foul past the third base line. We'll do it again. Gunkel, she went 1 1/3 innings today, gave up 2 earned on 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 3, and hit a batsman. Ground ball past the diving third baseman, a fair ball into left field. Call it a base hit for Maddie Volmar, and into second she goes for a sliding leadoff double. Boy, it looked like it was a bang-bang call just down the third baseline. Nyla Sapia gave it her best effort, laid out for it, but couldn't get a glove on it ultimately, and a big leadoff double for Maddie Volmar to kick off this third inning. So it brings up Eve Serrato next, batting in the 3-hole this time around. Runner on second and nobody gone. For Volmar, that's her team-leading 7th double of this season. First pitch for Serrato, skied into right field. Easy catch that time around, but tagging from second is Volmar. She'll move up to third. No real chance for Alexandra Biseglia to make any type of play there. Called a sacrifice fly for Serrato. 1 away, and 1 run only 90 feet from scoring, and it's Bella Barnes stepping up to the plate. Corners come in for post. Barnes squares around, hits it right back to the pitcher. Only play she has, actually no play she has. Going to be a bunt single for Bella Barnes and an RBI, and it's a 2-1 ball game. For Bella Barnes, she had 2 RBIs in game 1. Call her 4th hit today and her 3rd RBI overall. Really impressive stuff from the right fielder for Wilmington. Now a 2-1 ball game, and it brings up Sydney Hatch. She squares around, but hits it well foul, 0-1. Hatch, she popped out to shortstop on the first pitch of her at-bat, leading off the second inning. She's 0 for 1 so far today. Utility player can play anywhere in the field. Swings away this time around, but fouls it the other side, and it goes to 0-2. Well, you foul one down the third baseline, foul one down the first baseline. Now, trying to aim for that Goldilocks zone if you're Sydney Hatch. Freshman out of Magnolia, Delaware. Having to protect the plate here. The 0-2. Misses in the dirt. Nice stop by Hines behind the plate. 1-2. Sydney Hatch this year through 37 at-bats is hitting .270, so it's a pretty good season for her. It's a really high-powered offense overall for Wilmington. The 1-2. Line drive into left field. It's a foul ball. Good piece of contact. Was able to turn on an inside fastball, but was just a little bit too early on it that time, and we'll do it again. This third inning started off with a leadoff double from Maddie Volmar. Sac fly moved her up to third from Eve Serrato, and then the bunt single from Bella Barnes. Good waist pitch that time for Barnett. Misses off the outside corner and goes to 2-2. Count even. Trying to put her away is Barnett. 2-2, skied in the air, foul territory behind home plate, and it goes out of play. We'll do it at least one more time. Really good battle here. That foul ball was pitch number 6 of the at-bat. Will be another 2-2 for pitch number 7. That Wilmington bench is loud for sure today. They don't really stop cheering their players on. Another 2-2 early. Foul ball down the left field line, well out of play. We'll do it one more time. Also seems to be a pretty big difference in pitching philosophies between these two teams. Both the pitchers for the Eagles today have been off-speed heavy. You've seen a lot of these Wilmington Wildcats out in front of pitches. Another 2-2. Grounded to the third base side. Out in front and foul. Meanwhile, whenever the Eagles are at bat, you're seeing a lot of Eagles foul off pitches to the first base side, meaning they're late on fastballs. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Lefty on righty, a good battle here. Once again, a 2-2. Hard line drive into left field for a base hit. Stopping it is Alyssa Calabrese, but not cleanly. The throw to third, not in time. Call it a single and an advancement for Sydney Hatch. A really great battle, a 9-pitch single at that. And it's 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 gone for Cassidy Zolano. Zolano, she was able to reach her first time around on an error from Angelica Tompkins, the second baseman. So she's 0 for 0 so far today. 2 in scoring position for her. Looked like she wanted to go that time around, but held it back. 1-0. One run already home in the frame so far for the Wildcats, trying to make it 3 runs with a base hit here. Blooper, foul territory down the left field line. It goes foul. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Zolano, she went 2 for 3 in game 1, was pinch hit for in the 6th inning. Had a double and a single, though, and one of them went for an RBI as well. Next offering in. Misses upstairs, 2-1. Solano, that was RBI number 11 on the year back in game 1. Entering today with the 3rd best batting average on the team at .301. 2-1 offering stopped in the dirt. Brianna Hins has looked very good behind the plate, especially defensively. Stopping a lot of balls in the dirt, especially with runners on third in situations like this. Means all the more in a 2-1 ball game. Lefty on lefty matchup. Now the 3-1. High fly ball, shallow center field, charging in Isabella Oliver, and she makes the catch. Fake tagging from third, but not actually going, Isabella Barnes. That's a huge second out for Devin Barnett out on the mound. The job gets significantly easier now, but it's never quite easy when you're facing these Wildcats as Haley Grigo's coming up to the plate next. Grigo 1 for 1 today. Singled her first time around. One of the all-stars so far in the CACC as a true freshman this year. Takes ball one down in the dirt. Entering today with a .390 batting average, a 1.032 OPS. It's good for best on the team and ninth best in the entire conference. Two runners in scoring position with two gone. 1-0 pitch, grounded to the third base side. Foul. It goes to 1-1. Eagles trying to cling on to this 2-1 lead. Get the bats back up, trying to add on, but pretty big at bat here. Grigo, she went 0 for 3, but did get a sac fly and an RBI in game one. It ended her 6-game hitting streak. That one misses down low. Count moves to 2-1. It's been station to station mostly for the Wildcats here in this third inning. A double, a single, and a single, as well as a sac fly mixed in there. Next pitch in, ground ball, back up the middle. This should do it. Shortstop to first base, and that's a throwing error. It goes well past the first baseman. 2 runs are going to come home and score. Brooke Dickinson picks up the E6. It's a 2-run E6. And just like that, the Wildcats take a 3-2 lead. Boy, that's got to really hurt if you're Devin Barnett out on the mound. It's a tough inning to get through against one of the best hitters in the entire conference, and you feel like you got the job done. Runner goes on the first pitch of the at-bat. The throw well wild. Almost went into center field as both the second baseman and the shortstop were covering at the same time. So the E6 allows Haley Grigo to reach second. Both runs come in. No RBIs for Grigo on that play, however. Now the 1-0 pitch into Gracie Mabry. Misses upstairs. Goes to 2-0 now. Mabry, no official at-bats in this game. She walked her first time up. Reached twice in game one, but went 0 for 2. Takes another pitch upstairs, 3-0. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Barnett versus Mabry in the 3-0 delivery. The automatic strike right on the inside corner, and it moves to 3-1. Barnett trying to get out of the inning without allowing any more damage. The 3-1. Just misses off the outside corner. And that's going to be ball 4. Makes it runners on first and second now. And the 8th batter of the inning will come up to the plate. It's Emma Zimmerman, the catcher. For Devin Barnett out on the mound, that's only her second walk given up of this game. And Zimmerman, who's 0 for 1 with a pop out, looks like she's squaring around. Runner takes off, then decides better of it. Count goes to 1-0. It was a first pitch pop out for out number 2 in the second for Zimmerman, her first time around. Hard ground ball to the left side, fielded by the shortstop Dickinson, and she has no play on it once again. She throws it wildly back to the pitcher, but nice cover-up from Bailey Dickinson, her sister. So call that an infield single for Emma Zimmerman. And once again, for the second time this frame, the bases are loaded. So we're going to have an all-infield meeting here for Post University, trying to just calm down some of the nerves. You've seen that the Eagles have had their opportunities to get themselves out of this inning. A costly E6 from Brooke Dickinson gave up 2 runs not too long ago. And that last play, also from Dickinson, looked like there might have been a chance at a bang-bang opportunity at first. But the mound visit comes to a close, so the bases are loaded with 2 men gone. We go to the top of the order here. It's Tristan Stewart, the 9th batter of the inning. Stewart, 1 for 2 so far in this game. Had an infield single her first time around and then lined out in the second. Coming up for the 3rd time in as many innings. First pitch finds the strike zone, 0-1. So 1 for 2 today, 2 for 3 in game 1. Tristan Stewart. 3 for 4 on the day between the 2 games and having a tremendous one. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Stewart, the senior, out of Centerville, Maryland. Looking to officially bat the Wildcats around in the inning. Skies one, foul territory and out of play down the left field line. Goes to 1-2. Stewart on a 5-game hitting streak. Grounds one right back up the middle, and it's through for a base hit. 1 run scores. Rounding third is Mabry. She will score. It's a 2 RBI single for Tristan Stewart, and it's a 5-2 lead for the Wildcats. For Tristan Stewart, it's RBIs number 11 and 12 on the season. And after the Eagles were able to take a 2-0 lead in the top half of the frame, the Wildcats have answered and then some in the bottom half of the frame, now batting around. And it's the person who led off this 3rd inning, Maddie Volmar, back up to the plate. So Volmar, she's 1 for 2 so far today. Had a double and scored earlier in the frame to lead off this inning. Fouls the first pitch she sees back, and it goes to 0-1. A lot of pitches thrown for Devin Barnett here in this frame. It's up to 61 total on the night. It's been 5 runs on 7 hits for the Wildcats throughout this game. 2 on, 2 out. And 5 runs home in this inning. Ground ball to the left side. Foul past the third base line. And it goes to 0-2. For the Wildcats, it's Zimmerman on second, Stewart on first. Of course, Maddie Volmar, who started this frame off at the plate. The 0-2. High fly ball, fairly deep to left field, ranging back as Calabrese, but in front of the track, she makes the catch for the final out of the frame. But the Wildcats scratch across 5 runs over the course of the inning to take a 5-2 lead. We head to the bottom of the 3rd here on Post University Softball. It's a 5-2 lead for the bad guys heading into this bottom half of the third inning. But the Eagles, they were able to grab some momentum in the bottom of the second. We'll see if they can continue that here in the bottom of the third. Be 2, 3, and 4 coming up to the plate for them, and Alexandra Biseglia takes the ball first time around. Still Karen Sickle out on the mound for the Wildcats here, moving into her second inning of work. Next pitch in, misses down low, and it goes to 2-0 now on Biseglia. Biseglia, she's 0 for 1 today. Struck out swinging against Gunkel her first time out. Takes a strike right at the knees and moves to 2-1. So it actually is Kylie Gunkel back in there for the Wildcats. It's not Karen Sickle. So Gunkel throwing her 43rd pitch of the game. Be a 2-2 count, or 1-2 count to Alexandra Biseglia. Another righty-on-righty matchup. And the offering in. Fouled off once again. The rain coming down hard out of nowhere. We'll see how Kylie Gunkel can handle this one out on the mound. She seemed to have trouble with it only an inning ago. Gave up more than a few walks back in that frame, which loaded the bases for the Eagles, and they were able to score 2 from it. Another pitch upstairs. Goes to 3-2. It's crazy to think that it's a pretty bad storm here in Waterbury. What was once a 70-degree day is now a rainy, cloudy, windy day. In between innings, we check the weather in other places that aren't too far away. It's nice and sunny. Ground ball right back up the middle. Cassidy Zolano fields and fires to first in time. So Biseglia grounds out to kick off this third frame. We move things over to the 3-hole hitter. It's Alyssa Calabrese. Top of the lineup has really struggled throughout both games today. It's continuing to be the case here. So far, a combined 0 for 4 in Game 2. Calabrese trying to change that around. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch in the dirt. Goes to 1-0. Alyssa Calabrese was entering today with the best batting average on the team, a .283 average so far this season. Top of a .736 OPS, both of which are good for team best. Moves to 2-0 on her now. Still anybody's games with one out here in the bottom half of the third frame, a 5-2 ball game. And it was 2 scoreless innings, well, 1.5 scoreless innings for both sides. And then Eagles were able to scratch across 2. 2 runs on 1 hit back in the bottom half of the second. And the Wildcats get 5 in the top half of the third. Good pitch right down West Broadway. Count moves to 2-1. Boy, you'd think on a 2-0 count like that, if you're Alyssa Calabrese, especially batting in the 3-hole, you're kind of swinging away at a fastball, but maybe she was expecting something else. Ground ball right to the third baseman. It stays fair. The long throw across the diamond in time. Boy, a really nice-looking play by Gracie Mabry for out number 2. Looked like that softball had a chance to actually hit the third base bag. I think Wildcats are a little bit fortunate that it didn't. And Mabry was able to stick with that one and throw a bullet across the diamond. So the 5-3 ground down, it brings up Bailey Dickinson. Dickinson, she started the second inning off with a really good battle for a walk and later scored. Takes a big hack at the first pitch. Fouls it back. Strike number 1. So officially she's 0 for 0, but was able to reach that OBP of 1,000 in this one. Nobody on and 2 men gone here in the bottom of the third. Fastball finds the outside corner, and it quickly goes to 0-2. Dickinson, your prototypical cleanup hitter for the Eagles, leading the team in RBIs this year. Big power bat from the right side. In a lefty-on-righty matchup, you'd think it likes to favor the hitters, but you never know. Pitch misses upstairs. 1-2 now. It's been a much better-looking inning for Kylie Gunkel out on the mound. She's been a bit unfortunate. Each time she's taken the field, it started just downpour. It looked like she was really having control issues an inning ago. Clearly not the case here in the bottom of the third. Check swing on a pitch upstairs. Check down to the first base umpire, and Guillermo Rivas says that she did not go around. He evens the count up at 2 apiece. Big pitch coming up, trying to retire the side in order. And Gunkel misses down low. Count runs full, 3-2. Gunkel, she worked a 1-2-3 inning in the first frame. Trying to do it for the second time here in game number 2. The payoff pitch. Line drive, foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. You can see that Kylie Gunkel, she's constantly asking for a couple of new softballs. Can't say I blame her in a downpour like this. So once again, another payoff. Misses. Ball 4 upstairs. And man, Bailey Dickinson doing a great job today just working the walks in both of her at-bats in game 2. They've been battles. Full count foul-offs, laying off some tough pitches. That one very close up and outside the zone. And now it looks like the umpires are coming together here, and I think we might have a bit of a delay on our hands. See what the umpires decide to say, but taking a quick look up at the sky, and it doesn't look like this is ending anytime soon. No blue sky in sight, so got to imagine that there will be a little bit of a delay coming up, and you feel a bit bad for Kylie Gunkel, who breezed through the first inning of this ball game, and then the second she took the mound in the second, it started to downpour. The second she took the mound in the third, it started to downpour. So, and they're calling the Wildcats off the field. So we're going to have a weather delay here in Waterbury. We'll see what the official wording comes in from the umpires, but we'll take you to a quick commercial break. If we do come back, it'll be a 5-3 lead for the Wildcats with a runner on first and 2 men gone here in the bottom of the third. We'll give you an update as soon as we have it. Don't go anywhere as you're watching Post University Softball.
We're here with our 2025 Men's Lacrosse Media Day, starting things off with Hunter McCarty and Tom Pouliot, 2 of the newcomers to this team. Guys, talk about what brought you to Post University and what made you decide to come here.
Yeah, so I played against Coach at his old school, and when I was looking for grad transferring programs, I reached out to him, had a great connection with him, and a great conversation, and that's what led me here.
I just put myself in the transfer portal my senior year. I was coming off an ACL, MCL, meniscus, PCL tear. So I didn't play for about a year and a half, and I just wanted an opportunity to play another year. And Coach Ian was one of the coaches that reached out off the bat, and I felt as though I talked to some of the guys on teams like James Sproul, and it felt really comfortable and a confident place to come here.
And then what are both your goals heading into the season, both personally and team-wise?
Yeah, so personally and teams, kind of the same thing for me, just to have fun this year, win a couple games that we didn't think we could before, and just have fun with all the guys.
I agree with Hunter. I think having fun for my last year lacrosse is definitely very important. As a team, I want to bring home a CAC championship for the guys, and most importantly, just continue to make memories for this last year here.
What do you guys think will be a big key for this team to be successful this year, especially with a lot of newcomers?
With all of us being, with a majority of us being new to the team, I think the team chemistry, just bonding outside the field and on the field, is a really important thing for us to do, and we've made a lot of groundwork doing that so far this year.
I think mostly just knowing that working hard pays off, and we just have to make sure we collaborate and ask questions when need to be asked, and most importantly, just have fun and work with each other outside and on and off the field.
And I know, Tom, you kind of already mentioned it, but what do you guys think, seeing what this team has done so far through the fall and now early parts of the spring? It's coming out tomorrow when we're recording this the day before, but you guys were picked to finish 5th in the preseason poll. What do you think this team can achieve this season?
I think from just hearing from all the guys, the returners of this team, I think you can't count us out of the CAC this year. I think we have a really good opportunity to take some games from people and really make some noise in our conference and maybe even make it to the national tournament.
We're here with sophomore defender Nick Gallery. Nick, last year you saw limited playing time during the 2024 year as a freshman. Number of upperclassmen, though, on this team. With so many newcomers this spring and only 10 returners, what do you think will be your role on this team?
I think I just have to show them that upperclassman vibe. I have to be there for them and help them get through whatever they got to do and bring back the experience from last year and bring it back this year.
And then there's often a lot of talks about the offensive side of the ball when it comes to lacrosse. When you look at the stats, you're looking at the goals, the assists, the points that guys score in a game. Talk about what goes into the defensive side of the game of lacrosse.
I mean, we got to go out there. We got to guard such fast kids that could really shoot the ball, pass the ball, and we just got to be faster and smarter than they are and stay ahead of them.
And then what are your personal goals this season, especially with a young team on the defensive side?
I don't have many personal goals. I just want to win a ring. I want to get a championship and help the guys below me get one before they get out.
And then finally, what do you think this team can achieve this season? Picked 5th to finish in the preseason poll so far this year, but what do you think they can achieve?
I think it's just a number. I think that being young, we're very unpredictable, and not too many teams know what we're about, and we're ready, and we're coming.
Right, we're here with senior James Sproul. James, this is your senior year, and you're one of the only 2 long-stick midfielders. How do you continue to elevate your play this season while mentoring Gavin Lee, the incoming freshman on this team who plays the same position as you?
Firstly, I mean, just sticking with what I do best, just practicing everything that I'm skilled at, and taking even more time to get down the stuff that I need to work on. Just really elevates my game, and for Gavin, just mentoring him, showing him what I did to succeed in my previous years, and just trying to help him out in any way possible, giving him that experience that I've grown up having, and just trying to make him the best player possible.
Talk a little bit about the defensive side of your game and what goes into it a little bit, seeing you appeared on the single-game record for most caused turnovers 3 times last year, and you set the record against Bridgeport with 6.
Yeah, it all starts in practice. I mean, just dialing in on the stuff that I'm good at. Ground balls and cause turnovers are obviously something that I've excelled in. So just keeping up with that, getting as much practice as I can personally with those stat lines, and just on the defensive side, just the communication, body positioning, it just really takes me all the way.
And then last season, you set the single-season record in both ground balls and caused turnovers, 112 ground balls, 39 caused turnovers. You're 11 away from the ground ball record and 4 away from the caused turnover record for all time in post history. Talk to me about what it means to you to be part of such an elite group among the program's best.
I mean, it's something really special. I mean, I'm glad to say that I could be part of this history, and I just want to break those records this year and see how high I can get them. Just proving that Post University is a place that we can excel in lacrosse and be seen around the NCAA.
And then lastly, what do you think this team can achieve this season?
I think we shouldn't be counted out. I know we're a young team, but I honestly think that we have the chance, if we come to play, that we can compete with everyone in the conference. So I think counting us out of the CAC championship is definitely not possible, and I think we actually have a chance this year.
Finishing off our men's lacrosse media day with senior Robbie McGrain. Robbie, last season you set the single-game record for goals with 10. The season record for goals was 61. You had the second most single-season points of 77 behind your teammate All-American Tim Keefe at 88. And you're 12 goals away from the all-time record plus 41 points away from the point record. And you're nearly the second player ever to reach 200 points. What do you attribute all your success to last season?
Just the guys around me, knowing them and bonding with them off the field really helped. And in practice, just looking for me on the crease because that's the position I play. they were able to find me open, and even if I wasn't open, they were able to find my stick, and I was able to find the back of the net. And like I said before, just the bond with those guys and the bond that we had, we couldn't break it. So that's what attributed to the success.
How do you continue to elevate your game from what you did last year as one of the 3 returning attackers and being a leader as one of the captains on this team?
I would say in practice, just work on obviously the team stuff and what we need to get done. But for me individually, in tight spaces, faking out the goalie, always trying to get open. That's my job. So when I'm doing individual stuff at practice, that's what I focus on, and that's what has attributed my success in the past, and I'm sure it'll do the same thing in the future.
And talk a little bit about what it was like to play for head coach Pat Iannarelli in your first year and how you've seen him grow and evolve as a coach from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah, it was awesome to play for him. And when he first came in, obviously he was a little timid coming in halfway through the season with a brand new team, brand new bunch of guys that he doesn't know. And I thought he did a really good job adapting to how we do things, but also putting in things that he liked to do at his old school. I thought that was good, and he's been louder and louder with us throughout last season, and he hasn't taken a step back with us so far this season. So in that sense, I think he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and then what do you think lastly this team can achieve this season? You know, you guys made it to the semifinals last year, picked 5th in the preseason poll this year, but what do you think this team can achieve?
I think we can achieve whatever we put our mind to. We've been ranked a lot lower than that in the past and still made the playoffs, so that just goes to show you that once a good group of guys puts their head together, we can achieve whatever we want to. And I think we can go for the championship this year. Even though we lost a lot of guys, we plugged a lot of guys in who have similar skill sets, and some have better skill sets. So in that sense, I think we can have a good shot at running for the CACC.
Post-men's lacrosse season gets underway in a couple of weeks from now at home at Lemoyne Field. A few Sundays against D'Youville University at noon for their first game of the 2025 campaign.
Welcome back into Lemoyne Field as we're once again ready to rumble here for Game 2 of this 2-game set. We had a quick rain delay for just about 25 minutes, but now we're ready to go once again. It's Nyla Sapia up at the plate. Here in the bottom of the third, 2 gone and 1 man on in a 5-2 ball game in favor of the Wilmington Wildcats. Get you a little bit of a recap once again as we get more into this game. Sapia so far doesn't have an official at-bat. Walked her first time around. Now it's a 1-1 count here to Sapia. Nyla, she also scored back in the second inning, what feels like forever ago, but was only a frame now. And she takes a big swing and a miss, and it goes to 2-1. So it'll be Sapia, Dickinson, and Tompkins should we get that far for the Eagles. It's Bailey Dickinson out on first base right now. She got a 2-out walk before the rain delay. And Sapia fouls that one off, evens the count up 2 apiece. For Wilmington, it's Tristan Stewart in left, Volmar in center, Barnes in right. Mabry the third baseman, Zolano the shortstop. Grigo the second baseman, Serrato at first. It's Emma Zimmerman behind the plate, battery mates with out on the mound Kylie Gunkel right now, trying to retire the side here in the bottom half of the third. Off-speed pitch just misses up and above the zone. Boy, a stone-cold take that time from Nyla Sapia on the count. Runs full, 3-2. So 3-2, 2 outs. Runner on locked from first. Dickinson takes off, and the 3-2 is fouled off. We'll do it again. Sapia, she came into both of these games with the third best batting average on the team. Transfer from St. Thomas Aquinas College. Takes ball 4 off the inside corner of the plate. So despite no rain here, Gunkel still having some of those control issues. Issues back-to-back walks with 2 outs here in the third. Now his runners on first and second. 2 men gone, and we bring it over to Brooke Dickinson. Dickinson 0 for 1 here in Game 2. She struck out swinging her first time around. Takes a strike, goes to 0-1. Went 0-4 in Game 1 as well, but Dickinson gave a couple of balls a good ride out in the first game. Out into deep right field, but this time it goes to 0-2. Runners on first and second. Bailey Dickinson and Nyla Sapia. And Brooke Dickinson takes ball 1 upstairs. 1-2 now. Brooke, a member of the CACC All-Academic team last year. Swings and misses. A big strikeout for Kylie Gunkel for out number 3 here in the frame. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base for the Eagles as we head to the 4th inning. It's 5-2 Wilmington here on Post University Softball. Back into Lemoy Field for the top half of the 4th inning. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Wilmington coming up to the plate in a 5-2 ball game. Favor of the road squad. First pitch into Eve Serrato misses down low. We go to 1-0. Remember, what feels like forever ago now after the rain, but in the top of the 3rd inning, the Wildcats batted around. 10 batters came up to the plate, and all started with Maddie Volmar. Serrato, she hit a sac fly her last time up. Overall 0 for 1 today with a fielder's choice. Evens up the count at 1 apiece after taking a strike that time around. But if you go back into Game 1, Serrato, she had a really good game. Went 2 for 3 with a home run as well. Solo shot. Breaking ball misses just off the inside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. Still Devin Barnett out on the mound. Barnett, she's looked good, but had a shaky 3rd inning. Now trying to bounce back here in the 4th. Gave up 5 runs on 5 hits in that 3rd frame. 1 error, and she did strand 2 on base. Lazy fly ball into center field this time around, and Isabella Oliver brings it down for out number 1. Give credit where credit's due in 2 of the 3 innings so far, or actually 3 of the 4 innings now for Devin Barnett. She's gotten the leadoff batter out, ever so important for pitchers, and now she's facing Bella Barnes, who's had a tremendous day going back to game 1. Swings and fouls the first pitch off way out in front of an off-speed pitch, and it goes to 0-1. Barnes, she picked up an RBI in her bunt single back in the 3rd. That was the first RBI of the game for Wilmington. Made it 1-0, or made it 1-2 at the time. And Barnes back in game 1 went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a ground rule double. Checked her swing, goes down the first baseline, and it ends up foul. And it goes to 0-2. So Devin Barnett doing a good job getting ahead of both the batters she's faced so far in this 4th inning of work. Sydney Hatch on deck for Wilmington, who, if you remember, had a great at-bat last time around, a 10-pitch single by my count. Next pitch in, foul territory, down the right field line. It goes out of play. We'll do the 0-2 at least one more time. Barnett on the mound, the sophomore out of National Park, New Jersey, went to Gateway Regional High School. Looking for the second out of the frame, the 0-2. Oh, and she plunks the batter. First hit batsman of the night on either side, and belongs to Bella Barnes. She reaches base for the 5th time today between the 2 games. So the free pass, it allows Sydney Hatch to come up to the plate. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored is Hatch today. Runner on first with 1 gone. First pitch into Hatch. Finds the outside corner, and it goes to 0-1. Hatch, she's played in most of the games this year. This is game number 23 for her this season. Coming into today with a .270 batting average as well as a .405 slugging. Takes the breaking ball down low. 1-1 now. She's also got 4 RBIs this year to Sydney Hatch and 9 runs scored. Feels like no matter where you go in this Wilmington lineup, every player can produce and has produced at the D2 level. Hatch, she showed bunt, pulled it back. Count moves to 2-1. So it's Bella Barnes on first with 1 man gone. Ground ball to the left side, goes foul, evens up the count at 2 apiece here. It's a little bit strange to hear the Wilmington dugout cheer foul ball. Like, it's a good thing. Sometimes it is. 2-2, misses down low. You know, ball 3, I would understand if they started cheering that from the third base dugout. But, man, I got to give Wilmington credit where it's due. They're loud. They make a lot of noise, and they keep it consistent throughout the entire game. Pretty big pitch coming up for Devin Barnett at 3-2. Runner on first, 1 man gone. The windup and the delivery. Well upstairs. It's ball 4. So make it back-to-back free passes for Barnett, the hit batsman, and then the walk. It's only the 3rd walk of the evening for Barnett as well. Now she faces Cassidy Zolano. Zolano 0 for 2. Did reach on an error from Angelica Tompkins. Squares around, gets the bunt down right in front of the catcher. She fields, fires to first, not in time. Everybody moves up a base. It's going to be a bunt single. Cassidy Zolano legging that one out. Really good hustle, and Brianna Hins just didn't have much of a play. So the bases are loaded for the Wilmington Wildcats, trying to break this game wide open. And it's their best hitter of the season so far coming up to the plate. Haley Grigo coming up. Line drive, but she was early on it. It goes foul. Count goes to 0-1. So it's a runner on first, second, and third. It's Barnes on third, Hatch on second, Zolano at first. The pitch goes upstairs. It's 2-0. So Haley Grigo with a .390 batting average this year, leading the team in RBIs. Still at the plate, and she hits a hard ground ball through the left side of the infield. 1 run scores. Rounding third is Hatch. She will score. It's a 2 RBI single for Haley Grigo, and it's now a 7-2 lead. Second base hit of the game for Haley Grigo, and she picks up RBIs 1 and 2 on the day. Remember Grigo, she came into today with a 6-game hitting streak. She ended up going 0 for 4 in game 1, but more than makes up for it there with a couple of ribbies. Now the first pitch into Gracie Mabry. Misses down low, 1-0. Still only 1 away here in the 4th inning. It's been a lot of pitches in back-to-back innings from Devin Barnett, going well before the rain delay. Lefty-on-lefty matchup, and out in front of that one is Gracie Mabry. It goes to 1-1. Mabry, the freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina. Now the 1-1 pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and all the runners stay put, so it goes to 2-1 now. Zolano does have some speed out on second base. You already saw it with the bunt single, and she legged that one out. Zolano on second with Grigo on first and 1 gone. Hard ground ball, but well fouled down the first baseline. Evens the count up at 2 apiece. Mabry, by the way, she's 0 for 0 today. Couple of at-bats, but a couple of walks. Entering today with a .364 on base percentage. Next pitch misses up and away, and it goes full, 3-2. Devin Barnett trying to get her second out of the frame. The 3-2. Upstairs, it's ball 4, and the bases are once again loaded. Here are some fans expressing their frustrations from the outfield. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a mound visit now between Devin Barnett and her battery mate Brianna Hentz. Despite having some struggles in this inning, 2 walks and a hit batsman as well as 2 base hits. Devin Barnett, she's only 1 pitch away from getting out of the frame. You just need that hard hit ground ball to either the second baseman or the shortstop, and maybe the Eagles can turn 2. Emma Zimmerman, as she has all day, showing bunt before pulling it back. Now actually squares it down, gets it down, going to the pitcher, and she throws to first in time. No signal made, actually. I believe the throw, they're going to say it pulled her off the bag. She's safe. Boy, I think that goes as an infield single, but it's a close bang-bang play. Went right back to the pitcher, Barnett. She fielded and had to do a full 360 to fire it to first. And I think that's going to go down as a bunt single for Emma Zimmerman. An RBI as well. Bases remain loaded. Everyone just moves up a station. Now the first pitch in to Tristan Stewart misses down low. It was a good stop by Brianna Hines behind the plate. So 6 batters in a row are able to reach base after the leadoff flyout from Eve Serrato. Now the 1-0 pitch to Tristan Stewart. In there for a strike, 1-1. Stewart, 2 for 3 so far today. Pair of singles, pair of RBIs. A stolen base as well in this game. Looking to expand on their 8-2 lead. In there for a strike on the outside corner, and it goes to 1-2. Devin Barnett out on the mound. She only has 1 strikeout so far today. That came all the way back in the first inning. The 1-2. Chopper right to the second baseman. Tompkins fires to first in time. That's the second out of the inning. It's an RBI for Stewart on the ground out, as coming home to score is Haley Grigo. Now 2 away, still 2 in scoring position for the Wildcats, and the 9th batter of the inning to come around. It's Maddie Volmar. Volmar 1 for 3 in Game 2 so far today, but coming up for the 3rd time in the last 2 innings. It's a line drive right at the third baseman. Watch out. Nyla Sapia makes a fantastic play, and that ends the inning. Well, 9 batters come around for the Wildcats, and 4 of them cross home plate to score. It's now a 9-2 ball game here on Post University Softball. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go here in Waterbury. It's 7, 8, and 9 coming up to the plate for the home squad. Eagles trying to come back from a 9-2 deficit. It was 2-0 not very long ago, but 5 runs in the 3rd inning and then 4 runs in the 4th, and all of a sudden it's a blowout in favor of Wilmington. Angelica Tompkins will lead off the Eagles. No official at-bats here in Game 2. Did work a walk her first time up. Takes a pitch well inside for ball 1 here. It's Kylie Gunkel back out on the mound, thrown 48 pitches so far today, giving up 2 earned on a hit and 4 walks, as well as 4 strikeouts. Next pitch in, finds the strike zone, and it goes to 1-1. Gunkel on the mound. She was coming into this game tied for 5th in the CACC in wins, 5 of them so far this year, well on her way to getting number 6. 2-1 delivery. Misses down low. 3-1. This has not been a common issue, at least statistically, throughout Kylie Gunkel this season. 27 walks and 56 in the 3rd innings of work. It's not like she's getting a 1-to-1 whip here, but today the free passes have been an issue. A hit batsman as well as 4 walks so far through this one. Does look like the Eagles have someone warming up in their pen. Or at least stretching out. The payoff pitch. Foul territory and out of play. We'll do it at least one more time. Good battle here between Angelica Tompkins and Kylie Gunkel. Tompkins, she's had a bit of a tough day in the field, but able to get on base her last time out and still having a good season at the plate. Battling here. She was a three-sport athlete in high school, was Tompkins. Played softball, basketball, and soccer. And she was all-state in all three sports. Freshman out of Groton, Connecticut. Another payoff pitch from Gunkel to Tompkins. And a breaking ball misses well upstairs. So 2 at-bats today, or plate appearances, I should say, for Angelica Tompkins, and 2 walks. Leadoff man aboard for the Eagles. Let's see if they can snatch some momentum here. Coming up to the plate, it's Brianna Hines. Hines 1 for 1. Knocked home an RBI single her last time out. Takes strike 1 right on the inside corner this time around. For Hines, it was her second RBI of the season back in the second inning. Good pitch, right at the knees. Back-to-back corner strikes, painting the zone is Gunkel, and quickly Hines goes to 0-2. The 0-2 delivery, another excuse-me swing, pop-up right behind the second baseman, and Grigo is able to corral it for out number 2. For out number 1, I should say. Be the 9-hole hitter coming up to the plate next for the Eagles, Hannah Searles. Searles was able to get the second RBI of the game when she came in to face Karen Sickle, and that was on a fielder's choice. So officially 0 for 1, but still some productive outs, and takes the first pitch down low, 1-0. Searles, a utility player, a middle infielder and an outfielder. Fouls one off, and it goes to 1-1. Freshman out of Bethlehem, Connecticut. He's a 2-sport athlete in high school. She's using softball here at the D2 level. Bloops one just over the first baseman's head. No one's going to cover the bag, and that's going to count as a single all the same for Hannah Searles. Boy, a little bit of miscommunication between Haley Grigo and Eve Serrato. No one covering first. And Hannah Searles is able to leg out a single there. So just like that, 2 on and 1 gone here in the 4th inning. Top of the order coming up, and Isabella Oliver. Second base hit of the day for the 8 or 9-hole hitters today for Post. Really, it's 7, 8, and 9 being extremely productive for the Eagles, and the rest of the lineup needing to catch up. First pitch into Oliver gets fouled off and well out of play, 0-1. Oliver, she's 0 for 2. A pop out and a ground out so far. Just to back up my point here, the top 3 batters in the lineup are a combined 0 for 6 here in Game 2. Meanwhile, the bottom 3 batters in the lineup are a combined 2 for 4. Isabella Oliver, she'll have to protect here, stuck in an 0-2 count. Runners on first and second with 1 gone. Eagles down by 7 runs. And the 0-2, a bit of a waste pitch, misses up and above the zone, 1-2 now. Kylie Gunkel about to throw her 49th pitch of the afternoon, and it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Boy, a huge strikeout that time for Gunkel. Her 5th strikeout of the game. It's out number 2 here in the 4th. It's going to be up to Alexandra Biseglia to try to keep the inning alive for Post. First pitch into her. Beautiful fastball right at the knees, and the count goes to 0-1. Biseglia 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Coming up for the second time in as many innings, though. Next pitch misses upstairs, 1-1. It's a very young Eagles team this year. You notice a lot of freshmen throughout the lineup, especially at the top of their order. Biseglia, no different. Out of Southbury, Connecticut. Next offering in. Ground ball, slow hopper right to the third baseman. Going to be a tough play, and she makes it. Grace Mabry. Boy, she's had a couple of really good plays at the hot corner today, and that one no different. So the Eagles strand 2, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. It's 9-2 Wilmington as you're watching Post University softball. Devin Barnett back out there, heading into her 5th inning of work for Post University, trying to keep the Wilmington lead right where it's at. 9-2 in favor of the Wildcats. It'll be the same person who led off the last inning for Wilmington, Eve Serrato, back up to the plate. Takes ball 1 down low. Serrato, a rare 0 for 3 so far today, but does have a sacrifice fly on her ledger, so I should say 0 for 2. Devin Barnett, she's thrown quite a lot of pitches so far through 4 innings. She was really cruising through the first 2, but ran into some trouble. 5 runs on 5 hits in the third, 4 runs on 3 hits in the fourth. This is going to be pitch number 95 of the evening here. Misses upstairs, and it's a 2-1 count. It's Eve Serrato, Bella Barnes, and Sydney Hatch, the 3 batters due up for the Wildcats here in the top of the 5th. 9 runs on 10 hits, no errors for Wilmington. 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors for Post. That pitch misses down low, and it goes to 3 balls. Never want to give up a leadoff walk if you're a pitcher. Statistically, leads to runs more than 50% of the time in Major League Baseball, that is. But this came around. It's a leadoff walk for Eve Serrato. So after the leadoff walk, it'll be Bella Barnes coming up to the plate. Barnes having a tremendous game in both games. But it looks like we might be having a pitch hitter instead. Looking for a number on the pinch hitter. Not able to find her just yet. Oh, excuse me. It's going to be a pinch runner instead. So Eve Serrato comes out of this game on the base paths. It's going to be Alexa Eisman. Pinch running for Eve Serrato. We'll see if she stays in the game as a fielder, although I doubt it. Serrato, a very good first baseman, at least so far today. But at the plate, it's Bella Barnes. Barnes squaring around, pulls it back, and it's going to be a wild pitch. It allows Alexa Eisman to head to second base. So runner in scoring position with no one gone to kick off this 5th inning, and a 1-0 count to Bella Barnes. Barnes 1 for 2 here in game 2. Got an RBI single on the bunt. Back in the third, was hit by a pitch. She scored 2 runs. Next offering in. Fouled away behind home plate, now to play. It goes to 1-1. Barnes listed as a catcher on the roster, transferred from Central Arkansas University, but playing right field in both Game 1 and Game 2 today. It's a 5-game on-base streak. Fouls that one off her foot, it looked like, and it goes to 1-2. So entering today, Bella Barnes, she was hitting .333 over her last 3 games with 2 runs, a homer, and 4 RBIs, and that's only going to go up after today. Has an opportunity for another RBI with a base hit, but she does have to protect. The 1-2 fouled off. Good breaking ball that time from Devin Barnett. Looked like she got Bella Barnes way out in front of it, but just able to stay alive was Barnes, and we'll do it again. On a chilly day here in Waterbury, what looked like it could have been the first sign of spring. Well, that died quickly, didn't it? Fouled off behind home plate, and Barnes battling here. Barnes this year, she entered today with a .224 average and a .712 OPS through just about 50 at-bats. The 1-2, and it plunks her. Second time that Bella Barnes has been hit in as many innings. Second hit batsman of the game. And just coincidental. It sucks for Barnes, of course. Never feels good, but third time she's reached base today. Now runners on first and second. Nobody gone. Sydney Hatch, who's been a very tough out at the plate, comes up. Hatch 1 for 2. Had a 9-pitch single back in the third, and then a 6-pitch walk, and this time she gives it a ride deep into center field. It goes over the head of Isabella Oliver and rolls all the way to the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Here comes the third. It's a 3 RBI triple for Sydney Hatch. 2 RBI triple for Sydney Hatch, I should say. And either way, she clears the base paths. It's now an 11-2 game. So as we were saying, Sydney Hatch, she's been an incredibly tough out. She picks up her second base hit of this game, too. She's been on a hot streak as of late as well, continuing to do so. Runner on third, nobody gone. First pitch in to Cassidy Zolano, misses down low. It was good base running by Bella Barnes on first base as well. She was off on contact there, recognized that ball was getting over the head of the center fielder, Isabella Oliver, and Barnes. She took off right away, was able to score all the way from first. So Cassidy Zolano here in a 2-0 count, runner on third, nobody gone. So far today, she's 1 for 3, but was able to reach twice. Once on a single, the other on an error. Next pitch misses inside. I do genuinely wonder how often or how long they spend practicing the cheers in the Wilmington dugout, because they're coordinated. 3-0 pitch, the auto strike. Goes to 3-1. Zolano squaring around, pulling back, maybe trying to get a call in her favor that time, to no avail. Lefty on lefty matchup, the 3-1. Little blooper into shallow center field. Oliver, she's not going to be able to get there. Coming home to score easily on the play is Sydney Hatch. And the lead is up to double digits. It's now 12-2 in favor of Wilmington. Call an RBI single for Cassidy Zolano, the second RBI of the day if you go back to game number 1. And it's RBIs number 11 and 12 on the season for her. And looks like we're going to have a pitching change. It's a 12-2 ball game in favor of Wilmington here on Post University Softball. Coming into the game for the second time today for Post University, it's Alyssa Hughes stepping up to the mound, the 5'11" right-hander out of Staten Island, New York. We saw her pitch almost the complete game in Game 1. Actually, she did pitch the complete game in Game 1. I stand corrected. It was the other side that almost pitched a complete game. And she'll face off against 7, 8, and 9 of this Wilmington Wildcats order. A pretty tough spot. One runner on first with nobody gone in a 12-2 ball game. Haley Grigo stepping up to the plate. And Grigo, she had a tough time against Hughes in Game 1. She was out in front of almost every off-speed pitch that Hughes threw. So we'll see if that can go any different. So far in Game 2, however, she's 2 for 3. Reached all 3 times thanks to an error back in the third. Out in front of that, breaking ball once again. Count moves to 1-1. So Hughes, it was a little bit of a roller coaster of a first game for her. Gave up 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and then 3 in the fourth. But then she was scoreless throughout the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings of work. So she really settled down nicely against these Wildcats. Let's see if she can continue to keep up the momentum here. Behind the count 2-1 now to maybe the best hitter on this Wildcats roster, Haley Grigo. The windup and the delivery. High fly ball deep into left field. Going back. If it's fair, it's gone, but it's foul. Pretty hard shot that time from Haley Grigo. I thought it was gone off the bat, but Alyssa Calabrese gave a good look over, and I don't know what the peanut gallery is doing up here, but they're laughing at everything I say right now. I think everyone's just a bit cold and overtired at this point. So strikeout that time for Alyssa Hughes, I should say. Excuse me. I got distracted by that here, and it's going to be 2 outs now. So Gracie Mabry comes up to the plate. Runner on first with 1 gone. Mabry so far today, well, she doesn't have an official at bat. She's walked all 3 times she's come up to the plate, so 0 for 0. Runner on first with 1 man gone. Righty on lefty matchup with Mabry. Mabry at the hot corner today as well. And the 2-0 pitch into her. High fly ball, straightaway center field. Oliver ranging over, and she makes the grab. That's back-to-back outs for Alyssa Hughes in relief here. So Emma Zimmerman will try to keep the inning alive for Wilmington, who, by the way, now have over that 8-run mercy rule limit. So it'll be more than likely the last licks for the Eagles when they come up to the plate in the bottom half of the 5th. Zimmerman squaring around as she has all night. And the first pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. Zimmerman, she's 2 for 3 so far today. Both of her hits have been in infield singles. It's a good pitch right there from Hughes. Fastball catches the top part of the zone, and it goes to 1-1. Hughes, she threw well over 100 pitches through 7 innings of work in Game 1. I got to say, I'm pretty surprised to see her back out there for Game 2. There's a bloop single right into, actually past the center fielder, Isabella Oliver. 1 run comes home to score. 2 runs will come home to score. And now all of a sudden, the game's even farther wide open. It's now 13-3. Call it an RBI single for Emma Zimmerman. Actually, I guess you'll call it an RBI double. It's now going to be a 13-2 game in favor of the bad guys. Coming up to the top of the order once again is Tristan Stewart. Just kind of slaps that one right at the second baseman, Tompkins, and she's not going to have a play on it. Once again, an infield single. There's been a lot of those today for the Wildcats. It's a pretty amazing hitting performance for Wilmington so far today when you think about it. They're up to 14 hits now on the evening. And this is just in Game 2. That's after they scored 12 hits in Game 1. So runners on the corners, 2 men gone. Alyssa Hughes trying to get out of this jam without allowing any more runs. A 13-2 ball game. First pitch in, a high fly ball, but it's going to go foul. Down the left field line, it goes to 0-1. It's Maddie Volmar at the plate, who's 1 for 4 so far today. Hit a double and scored a run back in the third. And other than that, a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. Next pitch into her. High fly ball, deep left center field. Going back is Oliver. She's not going to get there. As a one hops off the wall, she tries to barehand it but bobbles it herself. Heading into third base with an RBI triple is Maddie Volmar. It's now a 14-2 Wilmington lead. For Volmar, it's her second triple of the day. After hitting one earlier in Game 1, and for the second time in this game, the Wildcats have batted around. It's Eve Serrato once again. I correct myself, it's a 2 RBI triple. It's 15-2, not 14-2. It's getting hard to keep track of all the runs here. So Eve Serrato, who led this inning off with a walk, steps back up to the plate, and she lines one to left field for a base hit. So Serrato picks up her first base hit of game number 2. Coming home to score is Maddie Volmar. Make it 16-2. Every batter in the lineup besides 2 of them for Wilmington have reached base in this inning. And the first pitch into Bella Barnes. In there for a strike, goes to 0-1. Barnes, earlier in this frame, was hit by a pitch. Coming up for the 3rd time in the last 2 innings. Pretty crazy statistics when you think about it overall. Scorebook's getting pretty messy as she grounds one back up the middle. Fielding getting going the short way is Brooke Dickinson. And the side is finally retired. Well, it's a lot of runs to a little. 15-2 in favor of Wilmington. And it's the last licks coming up for Post University here on Post University Softball. So stepping up to the mound, trying to close this one out in a doubleheader sweep for the Wilmington Wildcats. It's the 5'7" right-hander out of Dagsboro, Delaware. It's Olivia Hitchens coming into the game for the second time today. We haven't seen her in Game 2, but we saw her back in Game 1, Olivia Hitchens. Came in and got the final 2 outs of the ball game. So we'll see what she can do here in Game 2. On the season, it's a 7.88 ERA, now her 4th appearance. And I should say it was through 2 appearances that she got a 7.88 ERA. I'm sure that's down since Game 1. And the last chance for the Eagles, down by 2 touchdowns. It's going to be Alyssa Calabrese, Bailey Dickinson, and Nyla Sapia coming up to the plate. Alyssa Calabrese is the first woman up, and the first pitch she sees misses upstairs, 1-0. She's 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out looking back in the first after a pretty good battle, but then grounded out in the third. Good fastball out of the mid of Olivia Hitchens, and the count evens up at 1-1. Little squibbler goes foul just past the first baseline. 1-2 now. Talked a lot about Calabrese and how she's led the team this year in average OBP, slugging OPS. Talk about runs, hits, doubles, triples as well. It doesn't come as much of a surprise. Sophomore was an all-state player in high school. She checks her swing there, but she definitely went around, and the first base umpire says so as well. So strikeout swinging, and it's the first out of the inning for Olivia Hitchens. Pretty dominant performance all around from Wilmington today. Was able to go the full distance in Game 1, but likely going to end here in the bottom half of the 5th in Game 2. Coming up to the plate, it's Bailey Dickinson. She's reached twice on a couple of walks. Actually scored a run back in the second, 1 of 2 post runs today. It's a 1-0 count to her. Next pitch in, upstairs, 2-0. So for Post, they'll be back here on Thursday at home, taking on the University of New Haven. Doubleheader then. And then on Friday, it's a doubleheader at Jefferson University for the Eagles. And that'll be back to CACC play in Philadelphia. 2-1 pitch gets fouled off, or 2-0 pitch gets fouled off, makes it 2-1 now to Bailey Dickinson. Post dugout still making a lot of noise. Here in the 5th inning of work, Dickinson hits it high in the air, right center field, ranging over the center fielder, Maddie Volmar, and she makes the running grab. And just like that, the Eagles are down to their final out in this game. It'll be up to Nyla Sapia to try to keep it alive. Sapia so far today, well, similar to Bailey Dickinson, no official at-bats, but she's reached twice on a couple of walks. For Wilmington University, they play their next 2 at Malloy and then at Georgian Court, and they're on a bit of a road trip right now. These are the first 2 of an 8-game road trip for Wilmington. Quickly goes to 1-1 on Nyla Sapia. Wilmington looking to extend their winning streak to 9 games after the doubleheader sweep today. And Olivia Hitchens trying to close it out for them. It's a 2-1 count to Nyla Sapia. Hitchens set the windup and the delivery. Fouled away, and the Eagles are down to their final strike. Sapia, the senior out of Flemington, New Jersey. The 2-2. Fouled away. We'll do it at least one more time. It's really been the middle and the bottom half of the order in Game 2 of this one for Post with all the production. Only 2 hits as a lineup total, but a decent amount of players on base. A lot of walks given up, especially by Kylie Gunkel, the starter today for Wilmington. Next pitch in, misses upstairs, and the count runs full, 3-2. On deck, should we get that far, it's going to be Brooke Dickinson for the Eagles. And the payoff pitch. Good battle here from Sapia, staying alive. Be pitch number 8 coming up in this at-bat. Olivia Hitch just having a hard time putting Sapia away. Wants to get a new softball. Maybe that was the issue. And once again, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that's the ball game. Olivia Hitchin slams the door on the Eagles as the Wilmington Wildcats take both Game 1 and Game 2, this time by a final score of 16-2. The teams line up right behind home plate, and they shake hands, give each other high fives. A dominant performance for the University of Wilmington Wildcats as they sweep Post University on the road. This one, Game 2, 16 runs on 16 hits and no errors, 2 runs on 2 hits and 3 errors in total for the ball game. And for Wilmington, they move on to 15-12 on the season. So we thank you so much for joining us. We hope you'll continue to join us on Thursday afternoon as the Eagles will host the University of New Haven for a doubleheader here. But until then, have a good week, everybody. Once again, in Game 2, it's the Eagles 2 and the Wildcats 16.